Subhash still remembers the phone call he received from his son's college one afternoon 4 years ago. The college administration was upset that Subhash's son Pranav, months into his postgraduate course, had not submitted key documents that were part of his admission procedure. "It seemed like a regular, disciplinary query from the college," says Subhash. "But it was this call that led me to discover the truth about my child." Pranav had not remembered the deadline, or finished his college project, or even eaten anything for days because he was playing Dota 2, a video game, for 35 hours at a stretch. "I couldn't believe it." Dota 2 is a multiplayer game involving 2 teams of 5 players each. Each team guards a large structure called an Ancient and is tasked with destroying the opposite team's Ancient. Subhash's son was introduced to Dota 2 by his classmate. Not so incidentally, they were both pursuing a master's in digital game design. Pranav would play the game whenever he came home for vacations, says Subhash. He would lock himself up in his room for 6 or 7 hours. And if I tried to question it, he'd say it was part of his academics and I had to let it be. What I didn't realize then was that it had become an addiction. Things got much worse when Subhash tried to force Pranav to step away from the game. He had become so trapped in the game that he couldn't survive without it, says Subhash. He lost a lot of weight because he had begun to skip meals and sleep. It all seemed like it was straight out of Rajkumar Hirani's Sanju. There, Dutt was fighting drug addiction, here my son was fighting addiction to gaming and the internet. Trapped in another world. Subhash especially recalls the 2 instances when Pranav's addiction to Dota 2 took a frightening turn. He broke a door in rage after we took away his laptop and mobile phone. Another time, he threatened to jump off the 8th floor of a building. My wife talked him out of it. It was a difficult time for us as a family. Subhash took his son to several therapists including Manoj Sharma's Shut Clinic, Service for Healthy Use of Technology, at the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, Bengaluru. What finally worked was the Panchakarma therapy, a detoxification regime advocated by Ayurveda, says Subhash. Even today, my son, who works as a game developer, plays Dota 2. Only, unlike before when it was a junoon, an obsession, it's now more regulated. Last June, the World Health Organization, WHO, categorized addiction to gaming as a mental health disorder.